Hi everybody, I'm hoping that it's telling me something about the position of this, so I'm hoping that actually it's okay. I'm just going to check, because I don't want you to be watching this sideways, although to be honest I can't actually see anybody there at the moment. Yes, it should be okay. Send me a message if you get this. If you're watching this and it is the wrong way round, hopefully I'll be able to see your message. Apologies for anybody who wanted to do the class at 12:15 today. There was something I could not get out of. You know how it is. So I have moved it to 1:15 and I can see that somebody is there. So that's good. Today is Yin Yang Yoga, and for anybody who hasn't done it before, then the idea is just to have a break in your day, to have a stretch, to try and bring some calm and some focus to your mind. And then also for the Yin Yang Yoga sessions in particular, the idea is to try and bring a bit of balance physically, mentally and energetically as well. So you can expect in these Wednesday lunchtime classes to have a bit of yin and a bit of yang. So two different approaches to yoga. The yin being passive, static poses that we're in for a bit longer. And the yang being more active, more movement, working more on the muscles. So bringing the two different approaches together, the yin and the yang, for balance. So that is it in a nutshell. So let's begin. If you just want to lie down on your back with your knees bent. By the way, this is, I'm going to be getting my phone back tomorrow, so then our video quality will be back better again. I'm hoping for Friday. Sorry again that this has been taking so long. If you just want to lie back, I'm just going to start my timer. Keep to time. Okay, close your eyes. So let's just come into the room first, away from our busy days. And just feel the connection with the floor. Notice the body against the floor. Feel the weight. You can breathe in through the nose. Deep breath. Breathe out through the mouth. Let all the air out. Breathe in again through the nose. Out through the mouth. One more. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. And then again, just let the floor hold the weight of your body. See if you can just soften a little bit, just relax a little bit. I try not to use the word relax too much, because trying to make yourself relax can quite often have the opposite effect. See if you can soften. And then very slowly, paying attention to the movements. You can put the arms out to the sides if you want to. Just drop the knees to one side. And then drop them to the other. And we're just going to loosen up the hips in this way. Doesn't matter if the knees don't touch the ground. What's important here is the hips. And notice as you're doing this, where you can feel this. Where do you feel the stretch? And you can allow the knees to go down a bit further, noticing how the opposite hip rises up. Perhaps you can bring the feet a little bit closer together. Or you can bring the feet a bit further away. As long as all of these things are okay with the knees. Or perhaps bring the feet closer to the body. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. so that you can really focus on the movement. And then on the last one, of the opposite side to what you started on, come back to the center. And then, just like we did last week, if you were here last week, the feet are approximately hip distance apart. I want you just to drop them to the right, but again, do it slowly and do it to the point where you start to feel the left sitting bone rise, and then stop. See where you can feel the stretch, hopefully around the hip, and then continue. Let the knees drop down to the right completely. So this is our first yin pose, in which we're going to stay for around a minute. So just allow yourself to relax, to soften. And again, notice where you can feel the stretch. For many people, it's going to be around the hip area somewhere. It could be in one particular place, it could be more so at the front, it could be more so at the back, it could be both, it could be somewhere else, it could be higher up. Notice where you're feeling that stretch around the left hip area. And let the body be heavy. For the yin poses in the yin yang sessions, we won't stay in them for as long as we would with a pure yin session, like we do on Fridays, for example. But everything is relative. Yin and yang are relative. There are no definites. There are no must-be's. Alright, and on the next in-breath, slowly bring the knees back up to the center. And then the same on the left. So slowly drop the knees down to the left to the point where the right sitting bone starts lifting. Notice where you feel the stretch here. Is it the same or different to the other side? And then let the knees drop down. So for me, it's always useful in yin yoga, especially because you have time to notice the difference between left and right, because of course left and right, we're not symmetrical, naturally. I hope you can see me. I think you can, yeah. So for me, for example, my top knee, so my right knee, is a lot further up this side than it is on the other side. Probably to do with the shape of my hip socket or the bone, so it's in a slightly different position. So notice for you, on this side, does it feel any different? Noticing the stretch again around the hip area. Where is it this time? The front, the back, the side, the top, underneath the hip bone. Where is it? Being passive here, so that we can actually get deeper, we can get past the muscles into the connective tissue, the dense connective tissue of the body. And then we're going to bring the knees up to the center, and then just gently again, then just drop them to the left and the right a bit. Just a few times, just as a counterpose, a yang counterpose to the yin hold. And then bring the knees back to the center, and this time I want you to cross the right knee over the left knee. And if you want to, if it works for you, you can tuck the right foot under the left shin. Some people that will work for, some people it won't. You choose. And then drop the knees down to the right. Again, soften the body, become passive. Notice, where do you feel the stretch around the left hip? How different is it, if at all, to the first pose? And we're just going to stay in this for another 30 seconds or so. I've just seen a couple of messages and I want to check that there are no problems. You just stay where you are. Okay. Thanks, Sean. And then again, bring the knees back up to the center, keeping the legs crossed, then just drop them again to the left, to the right. No fast movements, no sudden movements, just loosening up the hips again. Maybe bringing a bit more of a twist when we're doing this, looking over the opposite shoulder, not too fast, and then cross over so the left leg is over the right knee, and then drop them down to the left. Again, soften, become passive. If you find at all that the knees are not feeling comfortable, then you can put something underneath the leg or underneath the knee. And you can also straighten the legs a little bit if you want to. Maybe, for example, if there's too much stretch around that right hip. Or bend the knees a bit more if you want to as well. You can play with it a bit so that it suits your body. We want to stretch with these yin poses. It's not too much or too little. But we've got a nice stretch that we're okay to stay in for a bit of time. Soften the body, let it become heavy. And then bring the knees up to the center. And then again, just wait for a couple of moments and then you can just drop them to the sides a few more times as a yang counter pose to those static yin poses. And then come back to the center again. And then if you don't have a block or a book, I should have said, I'm sorry, then I would like you just to grab one, or you can get a pillow or a couple of cushions, something to raise your hips up. So we're going to do bridge in a yang way and then in a yin way. So in the yang way, I want you to really activate the muscles. So first of all, same position, feet on the floor, knees bent, hands, palms facing down. Push into the ground, like so. Push the shoulder blades towards the floor so that the arms are strong, and also push the arms into the ground as well so that the arms are activated. You might want to spread the fingers here as well. So the legs, I want you to push into the ground with the feet, and then imagine that you're kind of bringing the feet towards the center of the body. Something we also did last week was we were pushing, we put our hands on the sides of our knees and we were pushing against the hands and pushing the hands against the knees. So I want you to imagine that again so that we're really activating the legs. So you're imagining that the feet are drawing towards you, that the knees are pushing against these imaginary hands. So the legs are activated, the arms are activated. Then bring the hips up. Now we're only going to go up to the point. Keep the legs strong, keep the arms strong. Don't push the hips up too high. I want the spine to be fairly neutral. Strong legs, strong arms, and you'll be surprised by how much muscular effort is going on here with what looks like a relatively simple pose. Then raise the heels and then come down, vertebrae by vertebrae, hips coming down last. Relax the muscles. And we're going to do it again. Activate the arms, pushing the shoulders into the ground. Activate the legs. Imagine that you are bringing the feet towards the midline and then push up. So it's kind of almost like you're pushing against gravity. Now you can go a bit higher this time. You can bring the hips higher. Yeah, not necessarily to your maximum, but so that we've got more of an arch in the spine, an extended spine, activated legs, activated arms, separate fingers perhaps. Soften, relax, So we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to use the arms. I'm just going to move down a bit so that you can see. Activate. So this time you don't need to activate the arms because we're going to be using the arms. Activate the feet, activate the legs, strong legs. So basically as we push up this time, do keep the arms strong, but they're going over the head, and try to go to that top point of the hips is when the fingers touch the floor, and then we're going the opposite way. So we're coming down vertebrae by vertebrae. Arms are also coming down, and again, try and time it, so do it slowly so that the fingers touch the floor when the hips do. So we're trying to keep them together and really pay attention to the movements and really activate the feet, the legs, and also the arms. Very deliberate movements. And then coming down again. Fingers are touching the floor the same time as that last bit of bum. One more. Strong legs, strong arms, pushing the hips up. Keep the legs really activated. Stretching the arms up, hips going up for that arch in the spine, and then coming back down again with the hands and the bum hitting the floor at the same time. And then just relax. See how the legs feel. And then we're going to do a yin version. So grab whatever you have. Raise the hips up, put it underneath the hips. Now you can put it on whatever level you want, whatever support it is that you want. You can put it on the lowest level, the next one up. You could put it on the highest level, but most people, unless you've got a particularly bendy back, then I wouldn't suggest that. And then you're straightening out the legs. And then you can put the arms out to the sides, or you can put the arms up. So what we're doing here for this yin version is we're opening up the front body. So we've still got that arch in the spine, but actually what we're looking for here is a bit of compression in the lower back. Opening up the front. Close the eyes. Allow the body to be passive, without pushing. This is yin, not yang. And if you wanted to separate the legs a bit or bring them closer together, bear in mind, be careful of your lower back, then by all means please do that. And if any of you don't have anything underneath the spine, if you're using something, then just stay here for a bit longer. But a possibility, it's not ideal, but it's a possibility, is just to kind of put your, I tried this yesterday, it's not quite as high, but it's a bit, you can put your heels underneath, your palms, your fists underneath. That opens the front a little bit. Not quite as much, but it's something if you don't have any support. So if you're in that version, then just stay there, as long as that's not hurting your hands, of course. Otherwise, if you're in the yin, bridge or pontoon, take the block away or the book or whatever, and then just come down and then just lie on your back just for a couple of moments before we move up. You can straighten out the legs. And if you're in bridge or pontoon with your fists underneath, then you can also come down and lie down as well. Thank you, God. Okay, so we're going to go up, we're going to move up So make your way into a standing position. So what you can do if you like is you can, if this is okay, then you can bring the knees in, and first of all we can just rock a bit, just to massage the lower back, and if you want to then you can just rock up, cross the ankles and rock up to a seated position, and then roll over the knees and make your way into a standing position. That's just one way of getting up. It doesn't really matter how you get up. That's just one way of doing it. I'm going to take my sexy socks off for this. I hope that you can see me. You don't seem to be able to see my head. So that's good. I'm just going to adjust this slightly so that you can see my head. That's quite important. Okay, that seems to be better. Sorry about the top of my head. Sorry, just 1 second. Yeah, you can see most of me, so I'm going to leave it. Right, okay. So we're going to start with a short flow. I'm just going to move back a little bit so that you can see me, but please go to the front of your mat. You can bring the hands together. So we're going to do a bit of chair today. So bringing the hands together, just close your eyes again just to get your focus. Start slowing down the breath so that we can use it with the moves, using Ujjayi breath, ocean breathing, if you know it and if you like it. Okay, so on the first in-breath, so breathe in, stretch the arms up in whatever way you want to. Breathe out, bend the knees and come forward into a chair position. So we're just going to stay here for a few moments. I want to make sure that we're getting what we want here. So just bring the weight, so the knees are bent, bring the weight, pour it into the backs of the feet, and then you can have the arms up. So the knees are bent, the weight is more towards the back of the body, and the arms are up so that it's a line basically with the body and the arms. However, if that's not great for the shoulders, then by all means separate the arms if you want to a bit, that's fine. If you're feeling a pinching in the shoulders. On the next out breath, I want you to come forward. You can keep the knees bent or you can straighten them or something in the middle. And then bring the right foot and the left foot back and we're going to be in plank. On the next out breath, you can either do knees, chest and chin and come up into Cobra, or you can come down from plank, Chaturanga, and then move into Cobra. In Cobra, I want you to push into the ground, bring the shoulder blades together to open the chest, and then in your own way, make your way into Child's Pose. Stretch the arms out. Toes can be tucked or not tucked. And then push up into Downward Facing Dog. So this is the first one. So just play with this. Play with it. You can bend the knees, you can move the hips, whatever way you want. And then just go into a static down dog. And then make your way to the front of the mat. You can walk, you can jump, or you can raise one foot if you like and bring it between your hands. A bit more delicately than that. And the other foot to join. And then you're coming back up again. And then bring the arms down. Then we'll do it to the other side. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Breathe out, coming down. Oh, sorry. Start again. Hands together again, my mistake. Breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, come down into chair pose. Pull the weight into the back of the body, into the heels. Straighten the arms, separate if you want to. Breathe out, coming down. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward again. Breathe in, take the legs back into plank. Breathe out, come down, chaturanga, or knees, chest, chin. Breathe in, go to cobra. Breathe out, go into child's pose. Breathe in, down dog. Breathe out, stay here. Breathe in, make your way to the front in whatever way is best for you. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, come back up, stretch up. Breathe out, palms together. Okay, so we're going to do that again, but we're going to bring a bit more into the end of the flow. So breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, come forward. Breathe in, go to flat back. We're going to do chair later. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, go to plank. Out, come down. In, go to cobra. Out, child's pose. In, down dog. Out, come to the front. In, here we're going to go to chair. Out, come down. In, breathe in, stretch up. Out, put the arms out to the sides. Breathe in, I want you to turn to the left. And then breathe out, bring the right arm down to the outside of the left leg. Bring the left arm to the hip. And then twist to the side. If you like, you can put the hands in prayer so that you're further down and still twisting, so keeping the hips more towards the front, twisting the upper body. On the next in-breath, I want you to come back to the center. And then as you breathe out, you're coming back up, straight legs. Breathe in, step the left leg back so that you've got a wide-legged pose. Breathe in, stretch the arms up. Breathe out, fold forward, fold from the hips. This is yang. Try not to round the spine too much. Keep it quite straight, so that doesn't matter if you're not going to the floor. You might want to move the feet around, so for example, move the heels to the side so that you can feel a stretch on the inside thighs. So what we're doing here is strengthening the back muscles with the bend and stretching the inside thighs. Go to flat back like you would with your legs together, and then fold forward again. And then as you breathe in, stretch up. As you breathe out, palms together. As you breathe in, turn to the front. Breathe out and then come to the front. So let's do that to the other side. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, go to flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, go to plank. Breathe out, come down. Breathe in, go to cobra. Breathe out, make your way to child's pose. Breathe in, go to down dog. Breathe out, make your way to the front in whatever way that would be. Breathe in, flat back. Breathe out, fold forward. Breathe in, go straight to chair. Breathe out. Breathe in, open the arms out. Breathe out, turn to the right. Hips forward, upper body going to the right. Then I want you to move that left arm or left elbow down to the outside of the right knee. And then the right arm can either go to the hip or it can go to prayer. Keep the hips facing forward. The twist is in the upper back. The weight is in the back heels. And just breathe a couple of times. On the next out breath, come to the center. And then come back, straighten up. The right foot goes out, big step. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, fold forward. Fold from the hips. I'm going to show you this way. Fold from the hips. Keeping the back flat. Moving the feet if you need to feel a stretch on the inside thighs. I hope you can't see down my top. And then you can just kind of bounce a little bit just to feel that stretch. Go to flat back. Fold forward again. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, bring the palms together and down. Breathe in, turn to the other side, whichever way you're going. Breathe out, come back to the center. And what you can do here is we're just going to move into a final resonance or Shavasana pose. So you want to make your way back down again to the floor. So maybe, for example, you might want to fold forward, but do it in more of a yin way. So allowing the body to be passive, allowing the body to be relaxed. And then maybe separating the legs and going into a squat. You can bring the palms together if you like. And maybe moving the head from side to side, circling, perhaps twisting. I'll come here. You can twist the body a bit. And then make your way either to a lying position or a seated position for Shavasana. Your choice. Something where you can just spend a couple of minutes taking in the effects of the practice before you move on. So just close your eyes. See how you feel, see how your breath is, see how your body feels. And just allow yourself to soften or to relax if you're okay with that word. Without any forceful effort, in a yin way. And so don't move yet. Just allow yourself to stay here until you're ready to move, or until you need to move. But when you do it, try to do it I'm trying not to say mindfully, with attention, without rushing. and try and take what you've done on the mat into the rest of your day, because that's what yoga is all about, actually. Not just a physical practice. It's about what you learn on the mat, taking it into your everyday life. So please see if you can do that today. Have a think about maybe something that you learned, and see if you can take that into your day. Thanks for joining me again. Please join me on Friday for my Yin Yoga session, 5:30 UK time. And I hope to see you then. Thank you.